Hello students, how are you? How is your study? I hope you all doing well. Students, welcome to the class. Today I am going to start the new poem from 8th standard, The Little Busy Bee. The poem is written by Isaac Watt. This is the image of Isaac Watt. Isaac Watts was born on July 17, 1674 and died on November 25, 1748. He had mastered Latin, Greek, Hebrew and French. The first hymn book composed by him for children was Hore Lyrica. His popular hymns are O God, our help in ages past, the Psalms of David and Jesus shall reign. Okay student, this is all about a brief information about the poet Isaac Watts. Let's move on to the next portion. Students, you are very eager to listen the story. Do you want to watch a story? Yes, I am going to show you a small story of the grasshopper and the ant. Let's watch the story first.
Welcome to the story, The Grasshopper and the Ant. Once in a lovely summer day, an army of ants was busy in collecting food grains. At the same time, a grasshopper was coming with singing song and playing his guitar. The grasshopper saw an ant was walking slowly carrying a heavy piece of corn on his back. Grasshopper looked at the ant and said,
"Oh ant, what a huge burden on your back. The corn looks really heavy. Come, let us play, enjoy this lovely time."
No, I don't. This will be my food during winter. There will be less food, so I must prepare now.
The grasshopper did not listen the words of the ant. It passed its time only doing singing and playing its guitar. The summer had gone and the winter came. The weather became cold and ground was covered with snow. The grasshopper tried to search for food, but it could not find anything. Finally, it came at the ant's house and knocked the door.
"Oh ant, help me. I'm very hungry. Oh ant, can I share your food?"
I feel very sad.
"Oh ant, please give me some food."
But you enjoyed in the summer.
"Yes, I didn't supposed to do any work. I wasted the time lazily."
I will help you this time. Next year I won't. You shouldn't be lazy. You must prepare for winter.
"Thank you very much, aunt. I have learnt a lesson today. I should work hard all day for my bright future."
Okay. How was the story? Did you enjoy the story of the grasshopper and the ant? Okay students. What is the message of the story? What is the message did you find in the story? Yes, you are right. The message was that we should work hard and we should work hard for our better future. Okay students, you have one more introductory reading activity which is related to Sir M. Vishveshwaraya. Let us go and watch it. First I am going to read information about Sir M. Vishveshwaraya. Sir M. Vishveshwaraya was the Diwan of Mysuru state. As a student, he earned money by giving tuition to students and paid his school fees. He made name as chief engineer and later as Diwan of Mysuru. He was always busy in some useful work or the other. He used to work for more than 10 hours. He was punctual, self-disciplined and straightforward. He lived for 101 years. He was awarded the highest honor, Bharata Ratna. Okay. Okay students, thank you for listening to the information and about Sir M. Vishveshwaraya. Okay students, let us listen to the recitation of the poem.
How does the little busy bee improve its shining heart and gather honey all the day from every opening flower? How skillful she builds her cell, how neatly she spread her wax, and labor hard to store it well with the sweet food she makes. In work of labor or of skill, I would be busy too, for Satan finds some mischief still for idle hands to do. In books or work of healthful play, let my first year be passed, that I may give for every day some good account at last.
Did you listen to the poem? Now you can open your textbook and look at the first stanza of the poem.
How doth the little busy bee improve each shining hour and gather honey all the day from every opening flower? How skillfully she builds her cell, how neatly she spreads her wax, and labors hard to store it well with the sweet food she makes. In work of labor or of skill, I would be busy too, for Satan finds some mischief still for idle hands to do. In books of work or healthful play, let my first years be passed, that I may give for every day some good account at last.
Okay. I shall read the poem. Open your textbook and look at the stanzas. Are you ready? Yes. How doth the little busy bee improve each shining hour and gather honey all the day from every opening flower? How skillfully she builds her cell, how neatly she spreads her wax, and labors hard to store it well with the sweet food she makes. In work of labor or of skill, I would be busy too, for Satan finds some mischief still for idle hands to do. In books or work or healthful play, let my first years be passed, that I may give for every day some good account at last. Okay students, let us move on to the next part, glossary and usage. Okay students, the first word doth, which means old form of the word does. Shining, which means bright. Let us move on to the next word, improve, make good use. The usage of the word is, I made efforts to improve my grades. Gather, which means collect, sangrahisu. They are gathering nuts. Next word, skillful, which means clever, kushalavada, kaushalya bharita. The child has become skillful in reading and writing. So, this is the usage of the word skillful. Let us move on to the next word, cell, a small compartment in the hive. So, look at the picture, this is the beehive. How is the structure? Observe the structure. So, this is called cell. Satan, Satan means evil spirit or king of devils, Satan. Mischief, which means damage. First years, early years or childhood, Kannadadalli balya, first years means balya jivana. So, idle, which means doing nothing. So, just you observe the picture, what do you get the information from the picture? Yes. Let us move on to the next word, give account, which means say what you have done. At last, at the end of life, at last he knew the meaning of the life. Let us move on to the comprehension part of the poem. I believe you have understood the poem. Let us move on to the first question. Why does the bee sit on the flower? Why does the bee sit on the flower? The answer is, the bee sits on the flower to collect the nectar and makes honey from it. Let us move on to the another question. How does the bee build her cell? Do you observe? How does the bee build her cell? Just observe the cells. The bee builds her cell skillfully by using wax. The bee builds her cell very skillfully by using wax. Next question. Who does Saturn manage to work through? Saturn, which means the god of devil. Who does Saturn manage to work through? Saturn manages to work through idle hands or lazy people. Why does the poet call the bee busy? Why do you think the poet called bee busy, students? Because the answer is, just observe, the bees are always busy in collecting nectar from flower. The answer is, the bees are always working from morning to evening. They collect honey from flower and store it well in the hive. They are not idle. Do not spend time wastefully. Did you get the information? Did you get the message? The bees are always working from morning to evening. They work very hard. They collect honey from flowers and store it well, and they will give the honey for people, and we make use of the honey. They do not spend time wastefully. Now, let us move on to the next question. How does the poet want to spend his childhood days? Can you guess? The answer is, the poet wants to spend his childhood days by reading books, playing games and working. So, reading books, playing games and doing small works. What is the message of the poem? Students, what message did you find after understanding the poem. The message of the poem is Kaya Kave Kailasa, which means work is worship. We should always do useful and good works to the society. So, students, this is the message of the poem. Let us see some images which related to different works. The people are every day doing different works. These works may helpful to society. Let us move on to the appreciation of the poem, figure of speech. So, what do you mean by figure of speech? Yenagandre figure of speech, which means a figure of speech or rhetorical figure is an intentional deviation from ordinary language. So, figure of speech means intentionally deviation from ordinary language. So, the poets usually uses such kind of deviational sentences or the sentences which deviate the mind of the reader. So, the main features of the figure of speech is it is entirely different from its literal use. It is different from its literal use, and it is also different from the ordinary language or ordinary usage. So, this is called figure of speech. So, in this poem we can find two figures of speech. One is alliteration, another one is synecdoche. So, alliteration and synecdoche, we can find these two figures of speech in this poem. So, what do you mean by alliteration? Alliteration means the repetition of consonant sounds in the beginning of the two or more closely connected words. Alliterations means, have you understand this? The repetition of consonant sounds in particular line, we can find easily the alliteration, the beginning of the closely connected words. You can see the example and it make it easy. Fair is foul and foul is fair. Just observe the words fair, foul, foul, fair. So, these are closely connected words. The sound f is repeated after each closely connected word. So, this is what called alliteration. Let us move on to the another example. Singing songs of the seaside. Singing songs of the seaside. So, the each words singing, songs, sea and sides, they are all closely connected or they are juxtaposed, means they are following one after or closely connected. This makes the sound sa sound, and what is the use of alliteration? The use of alliteration which gives a melody to the particular line or particular lines. Okay. In these two lines we can find out that in the first line fa sound is repeated closely after each word, and the second line the sound sa is repeated. So, observe the following lines of this poem. Okay. How doth the little busy bee? Just observe and trying to find out the words begin with the same consonant sound. Can you guess? The last two words are started with ba sound. So, busy bee. So, they are closely connected words which give rhythm to the line. Let us move on to the another alliteration of this poem. For Saturn finds some mischief still. For Saturn finds some mischief still. Can you identify? The words are far finds, far finds, Saturn, some, still. Just observe in the first two far sound, which is coming for in the word for and in the word finds, and Saturn, some, still. So, these are the three words have the sound s sound in their beginning. So, what the purpose of, I earlierly told that the purpose of this alliteration is to give rhythm and melody to the poem. Let us move on to the next figure of speech of this poem, synecdoche. What do you meant by synecdoche? A part is made to represent the whole and the whole is made to represent a part. Okay. Let us go and see some examples and I will make it you easy. The whole is used to designate a part. So, the whole ಇಡಿಯನ್ನು ಬಳಸಿ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಪಾರ್ಟನ್ನು ಇಂಡಿಕೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಇಡಿಯನ್ನು ಬಳಸಿ. ಸೊ, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಡಿಯಾ won the first ODI. So, India is a whole and the designate the part. So, only 11 members of Indian cricket team, that is part. So, we are using 11 members of cricket team, instead of that we are using India, okay, the whole. Let us move on to the next example. Police arrested the criminal. So, here police means not all the policemen arrested the criminal, not arrested the criminal, only few members of police arrested the criminal. So, that police is whole and few policemen, it is a part. Society blames me. Here society is big, it is a big. So, there are many people are in this society. So, society which means a group of people. So, here the word society, which means not all the people are, all the member of society blames me, only some sector, some people of society blames me. So, society word indicates some people in the society. Let us move. A part is used to designate the whole. So, reverse to the earlier concept. The synecdoche is also used to designate the whole by using a part. Let us see some examples. Do you like my new wheel? So, here new wheel is a part. So, instead of using car, we just use new wheel. So, it is a new wheel is a part, we are using new wheel instead of the word car. He has 4 mouths to feed. Here mouths is a part of human body. So, he has 4 mouths to feed means 4 people, which indicate the whole is 4 people. Give us this day our daily bread. So, daily bread, bread is a part of food. So, instead of using food, we are using daily bread. So, a part is used to designate the whole. Let us move on to the another example. A criminal is placed behind bars. So, behind bars is a part of jail. So, that instead of using jail or instead of using prison, we use behind bar. So, part behind bars is used to designate the whole jail or prison. Let us move on to the another line which is coming in the poem. For Saturn finds some mischief still for idle hands to do. In this poem, the synecdoche used in this line, the words highlighted idle hands, it is a part of lazy people. So, idle hands are the parts of lazy people, they are used to designate the whole lazy people. Let us move on to the next appreciation part, rhyming words. So, rhyming words, which means the word at the end of a line has the same last sound as a word at the end of another lines. So, especially in a poetry or in a poems, we can find these rhyming words at the end of the line. So, these are called Antyaprasa. So, alliteration, Adiprasa, rhyming words, Antyaprasa, okay, at the end of each line or alternative lines. Let us go and look at the poem, the first stanza. In this first stanza, we have only one pair of rhyming word, har and flower. Har and flower. In the second stanza, here also only one set of rhyming words, sell, well. Third stanza, we have two sets of rhyming words, skill, still, and to and do. Last stanza, we have two sets of rhyming words, play is rhyming with the word day and past is rhyming with last. So, just observe past, this is not past, past and last, these two are rhyming words. Let us move on to the home assignment part. The first question is, I would be busy too. Who does I refer to? How can you say that the bee is intelligent and clever? Third question, supply a rhyming word for each of the following words, may, dark, choice, store, clever. Okay. Okay, dear students, thank you for watching. So, before going to stop my class, I am going to give you a small information that please open your textbook page number 31. On the top of the page, you have a QR code. Please scan the QR code and you will get notes, text and also videos, everyone which is related to this poem, which is available on Diksha app. Thank you for watching, students. I hope you enjoyed the class. Thank you.